I may not have one right now. That's because I'm broke. Why am I broke? We're about to get into it right now. Welcome to the Triple Take. I'm Frank.
I'm Eddie.
I got one a week ago. I'm Joseph.
Yeah, that's why Joseph looks fresh and I look like a bum. We're talking about haircuts. I'm about to get one soon, but the reason why I don't have one is because we're going to talk about how much we pay for haircuts. And don't you dare roast me, brother. Because I know y'all be paying the same thing for a quality cut. Most of y'all. Unless you get a toddler with scissors. Either way, I pay $60. I'm going to just say it. I pay $60. That's including the tip, right? Because I like.
So how much is the haircut? How much is the haircut? Take the tip out.
$50.
There we go.
We need accurate. We need accurate. I like premium cuts, man. I'm very, very, very picky on how my hair gets cut and who's cutting my hair. Because with my hairline, bro, because since it's separated from my actual hair, it requires a different type of precision to make it look nice, right? It looks like this all crazy because it's grown out, right? But I don't really get haircuts that often, so I guess it kind of balances out. I used to get haircuts way cheaper, and I just kind of, like $20, but the quality wasn't there. And I'm not gonna lie, unless you know somebody, know the barber or something like that, you're gonna be paying close to like 40 or up to get like a pretty decent cut. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared of my hairline receding. And the last thing I need is some barber pushing my hair back or accidentally cutting my hair off. Last time I got a cut with a dude with $20, I told him to trim my beard. When you think trim beard, when you trim and I said trim the edges, I literally did this. And the man goes, all schmacked, grabs the clippers and goes, new. And I'm like, bro, ain't no way this man did that, bro. It took me so long. My family does not grow good beards. You know how long it took me to grow a beard? All of COVID. This man took it away. It was the perfect instance. I went through COVID to go through the whole ugly stage. All I had was a chin. And I was like, and I grew this. I went through the ugly stage in solitude. And it was raps. I didn't even trip. I was like, you know what? I'll rock the short beard for a little bit. Man, was I trying to make myself feel better. And guess what? I still gave him a tip because I'm a nice guy. See, I'm the type of person that ghosts their barbers if I don't like it. I'm not even going to argue with you. I'm like, hey, all right, cool. Man, never come back.
That's fair.
Because the only reason why I do that is because I say something before, and if you don't change, that means you don't care. So I'm leaving. That's it. That's that simple.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, depending on...
Make the mistake 2 or 3 times, brother. Like, you don't care, bro. So I'm just leaving.
Depending on who your barber is. Because before, my barber used to be anybody. And for a good amount of time...
Joseph would roll the dice and be like, hey, who's cutting my hair today?
Well, you got to find the right one. At least then, my hair was growing the way that I would like it to. But...
Don't say stuff like that. It makes me sad, bro. It makes me sad, bro. Don't be like that.
I make fun of it to cope, Frank. It is what it is.
I know, but don't say it.
Because for the longest time, the one barber I really had, aside from my childhood barber, who's a family friend, was my cousin. I know without a fact, between me, Manny, and Frank, I have spent the most money on a haircut.
$100?
$432.
For
and
one?
I say that in the sense...
For one?
The haircut was $35. I give a very big tip. Only cuz, right?
Oh.
It's for my cousin who was about to take the exam to get his barber's license or whatever.
Oh,
so
okay.
I just paid for his exam because he was saving up for it.
Okay, that's not the same
I'm
thing.
that guy. Trust and believe.
But you didn't pay for the haircut. You just helping out your cousin.
No. I paid for the haircut.
Sure.
In a technical sense, I guess sure.
Dude.
In a technical sense, I guess.
I was about to...
But I'm the type of client, right? If you take care of me, I will take care of you. Because this wonderful haircut, again, I got cut by some person I do not know. He lives right next to my house, or their place is right next to my house.
Joseph uses convenience instead of...
Was this not a quality haircut?
No, it is. I'm just saying, like, you prefer convenience.
I prefer Dominican barbers now. That's where I'm going to right now.
He's racist.
But I only paid... Well, Frank continues to die. I only paid $35 for my cut.
You to say yes, bro.
I only paid $35 for my haircut, and somehow I feel like when I go to places without a specific barber in mind, I tend to pay less. Versus, yes, this is a barber I really want because I know the person. And like when I didn't have my cousin, not to say that he didn't give me a good deal or whatever, because I would pay between $35 to $40 depending on whatever was going on. I'm a tipper person. I will always tip, whether it's crap or not. Obviously, if it's crap, I'll give my critique, just being honest and transparent, because at least in terms of the professional and client, that type of relationship, because I used to be a photographer, I used to deal with clients all the time, and at least there should be that decent open exchange of dialogue between professional and client. That's just my personal business belief. Compared to like me just getting like a $35 haircut to then going to other places or other people where the prices are like 50, 55, we're doing the same exact thing. And for $35, I got my eyebrows done, I got my beard done, got the sides done, everything, the whole whatever facial thing that they do nowadays that are just make me feel like a lady in a spa. Yeah, and some other thing. But it just baffles me how certain people will charge X amount of money and they're just starting versus someone who's been in the business for a while, right? They have the reputation as an experienced barber, hairstylist, whatever of the sort. Over time, they built up that repertoire and then that clientele that they have. They're client based. They end up gravitating on higher end clients, right, over time, or clients that they've had for years, and there's that sense of like loyalty to them. Or some people who are just starting out thinking they could charge people for the same amount to then not perform at that level of quality is absolutely ridiculous. Because how are you going to sculpt my hair, my head, this crown of mine, and you don't even know what you're doing? To Frank's point, you make a request, just the ends. Why you got a lawnmower or the beard? Why are you mowing the lawn? Make no sense. But granted, to Frank's example and experience, you let the dude know, it's not what I wanted. You have that nice exchange of dialogue. Because some people will trip and explode. It be what it be. Yeah. But at the very least, if you're going to charge for a haircut, make it reasonably priced. Because I have a coworker, for whatever reason, I know the barbershop he goes to. Every Friday on the dot, he goes, gets a haircut. And I look at him and I was like, how much you paying? He's like 50, 60 each week.
You got a haircut like every 2 or 3 weeks.
That sounds like a house bill each month. You get your haircut weekly. Brother, that's a subscription. Ain't no way.
That's a Netflix subscription, bro.
That's a car payment. You're spending $240 on haircuts a month? I get a haircut every like 2 months, if I feel like it. Granted, usually if I get multiple haircuts in rapid succession, I'm in a bad mood, so this is me just making myself feel good. But I digress. I ain't spending a crazy amount. Depending on the professional, I'll spend more money.
This is gonna be really sad in a sense of self-care and stuff like that. But so I pay about 35 is the regular amount, and then you add the tips, probably 45. So
I paid literally double what you guys paid. Got it.
Yeah. Essentially, I've built a relationship with my barber. He's been my barber since I think 2017. Not gonna lie, probably earlier than that. I've been with him for a very long time. So what I get charged is a little bit less than what a random Joe Schmo is gonna be charged. So that's probably why that plays a factor. His regular price for, let's just say, a jabroni that walks in is probably between like 45 to 50. But with me, obviously, because I've been around him for so long, he cuts me some slack. So the most that I get on my haircuts, and probably you've seen it as an audience up to this point, is this, and I wear a hat most of the time, I'm not gonna lie. And then I just get an edge. That's it. And then I get a small fade here. So I don't cut my hair with him. I have a separate girl that I go to that she kind of cuts. She does my hair, where that comes out to about, I think last time it was about like, I think also same price. I think it was like 45, 50.
Damn, for the ends?
No. I had her do the whole thing. She washed my hair. She did everything, because I have the little, I have the this and, the dry skin that comes here, and she cleaned up like my whole face. I do like a little self-care routine, and every once in a while, it's justified for what I pay. Let's just say that. So that way it makes a little bit more sense.
I mean, as long as it's justified.
No, it's justified. Yeah. It's justified. I probably should pay more compared to what like the women pay that walk into the same shop and get the same thing.
Because yours not that long.
When it comes to the pricing wise, and this is just us speaking business, obviously inflation plays a factor, and it's very hard nowadays to be a barber that is inside of a shop that is not his own. Because obviously you pay rent on the chair, and you have other expenses that may arise during the year. Sometimes for certain specific shops, and this is just me talking to my barber with all this stuff, you have like how a gym membership has like an annual fee that you pay like once a year. There are certain shops that also have like an annual fee that you have to pay on top of your rent. So that also plays a factor. The pricing of it does make sense towards how much they're getting, because obviously you have to benefit from doing the job. So I could see why like $60 is probably like a standard for like lower end of a premium haircut, because I've seen people do their hair, and this is guys, do their hair for like $80 to $100.
Yeah, look
And
at the whole shebang. Yeah.
yeah, for me, I'm like a once a month kind of guy when it comes to my hair, because I'm still trying to do like a lot of different things with my hair. I'm still trying to figure out some stuff. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll come on the show and then won't have my hair long. You never know. But pricing wise, it does make sense. And I hate to say that because, back in the day, I used to pay like $20. And then with a tip, it used to be like 30. I used to be 30 in and out, when I had short hair, and then I grew long hair and then the prices went up. Strange coincidence. For me, obviously, like the self-care aspect of it, I kind of lack sometimes, because I really don't. Like, I care how I look, but sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I look pretty good when I look bummy. I'm not going to lie. This is not cockiness. This is arrogance.
You're honest.
So it's kind of hard for me to, like, judge that. But price-wise, it does make sense to me, in my opinion.
The reason you still look nice when you look kind of bummy is because you have long hair. It's more maintenance, but like
It's
not
an
as
awkward
frequent.
length.
Yeah. It's not. It's a lot more maintenance when you do have to do something, but it's less frequent, right? And then short hair. Like short hair, you have to keep it clean like a lot more frequently.
And the business aspect of things, right? Because if I'm working at some retail store making under $20 an hour or whatever, but people in the service beauty industry or whatever you want to call it, aside from how much you're paying for a haircut, how much is this stylist with you? Like, how long does it take to get your haircut? Ain't no way you're just like you're in a prison or going to the military and you're done. You're just getting a buzz cut. No. Because realistically, you're going to be sitting in that chair for 30 to an hour, depending on, like, what you're getting done. Because ain't no way you're going to do a fade in 2 minutes. No.
Not a good one.
Yeah, you could get trash, and it's trash. It is what it is. But obviously, if someone's working on you personally, on your own body, your person, you want them to take the quality amount of time to make sure you're taken care of. You don't get hurt in the process. There are sliding blades all over your skin. You ain't trying to get out there with cuts or anything like that. And, if you spend $35 to $60, right, to you, you're just getting a haircut. You're just getting the job done. To them, you're working. That's their business. Where, yes, they're with you for an hour. Yes, you paid $40, but that barber, hairstylist, whatever, they're there to make that $40 an hour because you're the client. This is what you requested. This is the project. Then after you, there's someone else that's going to go in the chair. They got to do what they got to do. And it sucks for, independent people or people that get stuck in shops, because my cousin had this experience where owners are very stingy. They start changing up rules, and you'll notice if you're very loyal to your barber, you would follow your barber to different shops. And I did that with my cousin. I did that with my previous barber. And depending on where they end up going, sure, they get some more clients, more traffic, but since it's a higher traffic area, prices tend to go up. And, if their rent for that chair is higher, obviously they're going to charge you more. That's just the nature of the business. And it's kind of cruel in the sense how you could look at the barber industry in comparison to like how the housing market is, how renting is. Renting sucks now. For whatever barber is going through that situation in their living, just to make a living on their own, they got to fight that struggle just getting their place in a shop. Because getting haircuts or giving people haircuts and stuff, that business kind of boomed a little bit, especially through COVID. And you've seen an increase in barbers, an increase in people going to get their certification, going to school for it, and getting it done.
Everybody needs a haircut. Like, most people need haircuts, bro.
Yeah, there's more people. It's the demand for it's just gonna, go up.
And a lot of people don't care.
If the demand's going up in that service department, you're gonna have the supply of barbers just increase, naturally speaking.
Very good for like people starting off, because like there's a good amount of people that don't really care as long as they get it for a cheap price.
Pretty much.
Those people, but you got to add in that those people more than likely. That's why I say more than likely. Not all times are probably the ones with like short hair that just like just want to buzz,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Or they just want something different. They just want to change it up. Yeah, for sure.
When it comes to the pricing, and if you're one of those people that, like, you know, is kind of penny pinching at the moment, I could understand if certain prices on barbershops, at least in our area, you know, they could be a little bit a hit or miss. But at the same time, realize that the economy is the way that it is now, and it is a lot harder to maintain the chair for the barber itself. Plus, remember that they are basically independent contractors, and they have to oblige by what the shop is pricing them. So, you know,
What
obviously,
they price the chair is basically going to dictate what they price.
exactly. Sometimes it could be high, sometimes it could be low. It all depends. But obviously, we promote self-care. You know, go out there, look your best. Don't always look bummy. That's not a good idea. And you got to take care of yourself. That's the biggest part of this, is that you do have to take care of yourself. But we also understand the pricing that is sometimes could be a little bit like all over the place, and sometimes, you know, you could get frustrated on the pricing of it. Last thing for me, and then Frank's going to pick it up from there. When it does come to barber shops, and this is just me being a business person, know what you're coming for. Do your research.
Facts. I always do that, bro.
I am one of those people that have seen multiple times where I'm getting my hair cut and the dude next to me brings in the guy to his chair, and the guy just says, I don't know what I want. And they spent about like 10 minutes there, bruh. If it was me, I'm paying me for those 10 minutes that we're talking.
Not facts.
Well, on my mom,
consultation.
bro.
That's a consultation, brother. That's a hair consultation.
That's what I'm saying. Just do your research. Just pointing that out there. That was a pet peeve of mine.
But nah, yeah, like, I just want to talk a little bit more about my experience, like, with haircuts. Okay, like, just to give a little background. I've only been to a barber once up until, like, junior year high school. Or, like, sophomore year high school. I went once, and it was to get a mohawk. One of the best decisions I made in my life. It was amazing. But I'll never do it again because I never put the gel. I literally only had a mohawk one day, and the barber was like, "You're gonna have to get up early to put the gel and make the mohawk." I gotcha. Never did it again. I did not want to wake up early enough to do that. I was too tired. So I literally just had a strip of hair just down the middle of my head. Oh, besides that, my dad cut my hair my whole life, so I never really cared too much. Like, I didn't have a fade till sophomore, junior year. Never did my eyebrows till sophomore, junior year. Shout out to my cousin Hermancito for pushing me to do that. But
one day we'll get you on the pod.
Well, one day. Then we'll talk about more haircuts. Anyway, or style. Who knows? But when it comes to my barbershop lineage, the reason why I left, obviously I voiced my concerns multiple times, but it just felt like when I'm not getting respected for my time and my money, I'm not going to go back. So that's when I realized that, hey, if I want to get like a premium experience, premium quality, the quality that I want, I'm just have to pay more. It is what it is. And I got to thank my fiance to be like, hey, man, take care of yourself. Spend a little extra money for yourself, even if it's less frequently. And I was like, you know what? You got a point. That's the decision I made in my life. Before, I had the hairline like Manny's where like it's all the same. But like I said, I was scared that my hairline was going to get pushed back. So I kind of split it. And I was not going to let no $20 barber do that, bro. See, that was like do or die. Like, I'm either shaving my whole head off or nothing. I went to a professional dude that's done it before. Did that. Prices went up. Went to a different guy. Been with this guy for a while. Really cool. Good environment. The price is decent. And I don't get cuts too often anyway, so it don't really matter to me. Like I said, I get it like every 2 or 3 weeks. That's like literally every time I get paid. But yeah, man, if you want good haircuts, you're going to have to pay for it. If you don't care, then you care more about money, have fun having a receding or messed up hairline for the rest of your life, I guess. That's it.
Or maybe you find the diamond in the rough that he's actually pretty good for $20.
Yeah, maybe eventually that's not gonna last, my boy. That's all I know. That's not gonna last. Oh, and by the way, I do have long hair. Obviously, I don't pay for that. My aunt cuts my ends. She's a salon person, so all I do is cut my ends, which is long hair maintenance.
So the question is, how much are you willing to pay for a good haircut? Do you think the prices nowadays are outrageous? Do you think that they're justified? You know where you could do that? You could do that down at the comments below. Let us know. Follow us on Discord and have a bigger conversation. Also, like this video. Make sure to share it to your friends. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, all that good stuff. I'm Manny.
Let us know if we pay too much for our haircuts and if our haircuts are bad. Let us know. I'm Frank.
It's my turn. I spend what I spend on a haircut. I'm Joseph.
Take care of yourself, kings. Peace.